What's up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, coming at you tonight to talk to you about Douglas Lake. Not going to do a full breakdown for you, but we did have one of our subscribers ask us to do a lake breakdown for Douglas Lake, or at least get the waypoints and do the breakdown, get it out on the site. So that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. It's Douglas Lake out in Tennessee. This one was super cool, tons of fluctuation. So we were able to find lots of brush piles and rock piles and hard spots and pretty much just everything. This is like a real lake that we could actually see. The water fluctuation was pretty crazy though. I think this thing fluctuates like 20 something feet. Have no idea, but I wanted to go ahead and get this out to you guys, let you guys know that it's out there on the site now and see what you guys think. Let's jump into it. Well, as I mentioned in the introduction, we finally have Douglas Lake completed. This one took us quite a long time to complete, quite the large lake here to get done. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a full lake breakdown for you guys like I do on some of those smaller lakes. This one would take us probably a year to get through, but I did want to point out some of the stuff that we found during our during our investigating on this lake, or our mapping on this lake, and just so you know what you'd get if you were out there and you went out to Simplistic Fishing and bought these waypoints, since this one's a little bit different. So what we did on this lake, because it was so big, is we broke it down into 4 different areas. So I'll start here and we'll talk about Flat Creek real quick. The Flat Creek area is basically going to be this area right down in here. We stopped right at the end of the point. Some really cool stuff down in this one. We got a really good creek channel. You can see here, that's that green line. You've got some ledges that are back here. Now, of course, you're like, hey, that's really obvious. Well, I've got it actually in 2017. So if I move it up to 2022, all of that stuff is now fishable, which is definitely going to be some good stuff to look around. You got some more ledges. You got some brush. More ledges down in right in here, and some rock and stuff you could fish around. You've got good ditches, really good hard spots out here, like right here where it says a ledge. It's not really a ledge, it's more of a, well, it is a ledge, but it's like a rock ledge. But if I draw that back to 2017, you can see, or actually I might have to go back a little bit further. You can see here now where that big old ledge is right there that you could fish. So all kinds of good stuff. And again, you can go out and buy all these waypoints at simplisticfishing.com. You'll find the different sections out there. Just pick the sections that you want, and then basically just move on from there. Now, I do want to note, because we have so many waypoints on this lake, you're not going to be able to load the entire lake up on your graph. You're probably going to max out. So you're going to need to make sure that you manage your waypoints correctly to where you can remove certain sections and add certain sections in. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's look at the next section. That's going to be the Perry and McCracken branch area. So basically what I did was I just took the two areas. This is McCracken, this is the Perry area, and I basically just stayed with them and went all the way to this side of the lake to really be able to mark that for you guys. So again, this is 2017, so we're looking when the water's down, but you can see up here on the shoals up here, you got some foundations, some debris. Got a really good little rock ledge going on there. You'll also see where I went through, and you'll see this throughout the lake, I marked any of the hard spots. So any of these areas where you see where it's rocky, but it's not like big chunk rock, but you can tell it's a hard area, I marked all of the hard areas for you. So as you're going through these points and you're fishing the points and you're wondering which points are good points to fish, you're gonna know those by just following the hard spots. Those are going to tell you where the harder areas are, more than likely where the fish are going to be. You've also got a lot of good stuff down in here. If we go down into the McCracken branch, we get down in here, we start seeing a lot of debris, a lot of brush piles. There's some really good brush piles. I don't know if it's not right in here. Maybe it's a little bit further up. There's some really good brush piles all throughout this thing. I can't find them now that I'm talking to you guys. You can see here, there's a good brush pile. There's some debris. You've got the ramps. Here's the brush piles I was wanting to show you. I was on the wrong area, but right here we've got some really good brush piles. This is brush piles inside a foundation. You got some more there. And of course, if we bring that water back up to 2022, this was the image for 2022. This brush pile is still exposed, but all of these are going to be well in play. Those hard spots are going to be in play as well. So you're going to have some really good stuff to go fish around. So that's the Perry and the McCracken Branch area. Now, next area I'm going to call the Muddy Creek area. So basically I just went from, here's the Muddy Creek. I went through all of Muddy Creek and went all the way up to the bridge at, I believe that was Highway 92, wasn't it? I can't remember for sure. We're just going to call that Highway 92 or the Chestnut Hill Road. So basically I went from there and went down to Muddy Creek and marked all the stuff that I could find, whether that be debris back in here. This is pretty cool. So if you go up in here today, you'd pull up in this little pocket and you'd say, man, I don't know what I'm gonna fish in here. This all looks the same. It's just a bunch of really just, what, dirt, bank line. Doesn't look like there's anything there, but there is stuff there. All we have to do is draw the water back a little bit, get down to 2017, and you'll notice that someone has put a bunch of fish attractors all throughout that area. And there's a lot of those throughout this lake. You've got some more back in here too. This little pocket was the one that surprised me the most because it had a ton of debris. Someone's been doing a lot of work back in this little pocket right here. If you're wondering where I'm at, let me pull this up. Looks like I was right there by the Henderson Wildlife area. But I'm right there on that corner. There was a lot right there inside that cove. But it's like that throughout the lake. You know, found all kinds of good stuff. Bluff walls, rocks, hard spots, brush piles, rock piles, tires. There's even some more tires back in here where someone had put a bunch of tires, like little tire sets right in here. Obviously debris and rocks. So if I found it while I was going through the image, I definitely marked it. So that's going to be the Muddy Creek area. And then finally the last part is basically going to be Highway 92 north. So we're going to go to Highway 92 and we're going to work our way north, again marking everything that we can find. These green lines are creek channels that we found. These red lines are going to be old roads that we found. So if we look over here, you're going to notice there's a road. That red line is a road that goes all the way through. Now in 2017 that's not even in play, but in 2022 it does have areas where it comes in play, and that's where you're going to find your rock, your culverts, your stuff like that. And then out here, I mean, you've got a nice foundations and rock that are way out here, getting really close to the creek channel. Let's see if I can get them to expose here. I have to get way out there. Here we go. Out in 2013, you can start to see a little bit of them as well. So we got some really, really cool stuff. Pretty much, if it's different, or if it's a brush pile or a hard spot or a rock pile or a creek channel swing or a ramp, any of that stuff that we found on this lake, we went ahead and marked. Again, this took us a long time to do, but you can see that once we fill it all up, we've pretty much got the entire lake broken down for you. And again, from the offshore standpoint, instead of doing offshore hotspots like I normally would do, I would say follow the hard spots. The hard spots are going to allow you to fish offshore, especially with the fluctuation of this lake. This lake looks like it goes all over the place. If you focused on those hard spots when the lake was lower, when you don't have all that debris and the stuff that's underwater, I think you're going to have a lot of success. So anyways, go out, check it out, simplisticfishing.com. Go out there, order your card for Douglas Lake, pick the section that you want. We'll get it shipped over to you right away. We can also ship you the digital file. If you get the digital file or the card, really, if you get either one. But the digital file, if we send it to you, you just take that file, put it onto an SD card, then put it into your graph and you import it in. If you take the option for the SD card, we build the card for you. We also send you an email with the digital and the Simplistic Fishing SD card that gives you this KML file that you're looking at right here on Google Earth. So that way you can go out and actually do your own mapping, your own strategy, whatever you want to do to help you out and help you catch more fish. You'll have this file to be able to tweak it and do whatever you want with it. So make sure to go check it out, simplisticfishing.com. Appreciate the time, guys. Hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.